Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, a few months ago, we talked with Wyoming Valley West senior quarterback Michael Baur. And, Michael, you were exploring your options as far as different colleges, what you're looking for, but you said you definitely wanted to play football. Tell us how the last couple of months went for you and, all the decisions that you had to choose from.
Well, I was looking for schools that had a good football program, and they were good educational schools with a good environment and a good teacher-to-student ratio. And I was also looking at schools just for academics in case stuff didn't work out with football, in case I didn't get the right offer, or regardless of what was going to happen. I wanted to make sure I had a school that I could fit in with and get a good education from. I narrowed it down to Rochester University, MIT University. I talked with Colgate for a while, and especially Lehigh, and all of them are looking good. But I felt as if Lehigh was the best fit for me, and I'm happy with my decision for both the football standpoint and educational purposes. And I'm excited for the next 4 years.
And out of those four schools, it's the closest one to home. That always helps.
Yeah, definitely, right down the road.
Well, tell us about what was attractive to you about Lehigh, and how tough was that for you? Knowing that your uncle went over to Lafayette, I'm sure he gave you a little busting about that. But in all seriousness, tell us about the qualities that you really felt. Hey, this is the place I want to call home, Lehigh University.
Well, last summer I went down to the Lehigh the camp, and of course my uncle, really Lehigh, but. No, it's a great school, and I was down there at the camp, and I loved the coaches, how they ran the camp. They showed us some of the previous seasons. They showed us the facility. It was all beautiful. And as the season rolled around, and I was talking to my recruiting coach, and I loved him. He's a great guy, and I went to go see. I was lucky enough to go see the Lehigh Lafayette game this year, and it didn't turn out well for Lehigh, but still being there, there's thousands of people there. It was an amazing atmosphere. It was a beautiful day. It was just an intense game, and it reminded me of our Valley West Berwick games, and it was a place that I could see myself being, and I loved it. And then I went down for my visit, and the campus was beautiful. The coaches were welcoming, and they were nice, and they cared for me, and the players that I was with, they're all interested. It wasn't just like they blew me off. They're interested about how I did in my school and in high school, how I played as a player for my high school, and it was just it's a good community, and they're welcoming, and there's no worries when you're going there.
Michael Baur joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. He is from Wyoming Valley West. He is a senior and now headed to Lehigh University to play football. Talk about the relief factor for you, Michael. How does it feel now? You've come up with this challenging decision, and now you made it. You're feeling pretty good about it.
Well, the recruiting process is a lot longer than people think. It goes on from the early in your junior year. The coaches are coming to see you after your junior season, and then you go through this long summer. You're traveling all over wherever you're going to all these camps, and then you have to talk to coaches. You have to. Some coaches say we're not going to take you, and some goes well with the coaches. So it's a long process, and finally that it's over. It's like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders, and people are always like, for a year now, where are you going? I always said, I don't know. And now that I have a definite answer, my family's relieved, everyone's relieved, and it's a good feeling. I'm happy.
Well, you talk about the choices that you had. Obviously, you're an academician. You do an incredible job in the classroom. That's what it's all about. As you mentioned, if things don't work out with football, you want to go to a school that does very well academically. You're going to feel comfortable at. Talk about what really intrigued you there about Lehigh University on that end, and do you know what you're going to study?
Well, when I was a kid, I always said I wanted to go to Lehigh because I always knew it was a great engineering school. When I was in middle school and stuff, I'm going to study to be a chemical engineer, and I know Lehigh is in the top schools for engineering in the entire country, and they take pride in their engineering. And I visited all the engineering schools there and the professors, and they're all really into it. And I'm excited to get into such a great program. That'll provide me with an amazing education that I'll benefit from down the road. Just over on the school's name, they were the engineers a couple decades ago. So to go to a school where it's focused on their engineering is I'm pretty excited to do so.
And Michael, talk about the football program as far as the coaches that you met and the type of offense they run and what excites you about that.
Well, their offense, they run kind of a spread offense at times, but they also like to run the ball, and it's something that it's relatable to the offense that we ran at Valley West, and they'll do like a tempo offense, no huddle, and I feel like I could fit in it. I feel like I'll be able to pick it up right away, and hopefully the team will benefit from that, from what I could do. And the coaches, I can't explain how welcoming they are and how nice they are. And the Patriot League is an amazing league with a lot of competitiveness, and the Lehigh Lafayette game is going to be at Yankee Stadium this year, that with thousands of people there. It's just it's an amazing atmosphere that no one will pass up the opportunities for that.
Well, Michael, you got a very bright future there at Lehigh. Congratulations. A great decision, as you mentioned, for you. You had 4 great schools to choose from. You chose Lehigh University. I'm sure, as you mentioned, your family's excited about it. You're excited about it. And I'm sure Uncle Frank will get warmed up to the idea that you'll be at Lehigh University as well. But we wish you the best of luck, Michael, in your future endeavors. And, of course, the rest of the last 5 months of school at Wyoming Valley West, and you're headed off this summer to Lehigh University. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mendola. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Michael Baur here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.